alongside police station. Don't know if you can see all them bikes over there. See if it'll focus. Used to have motorbikes and all sorts. I don't know if it's like a place where they go in the local community if they're stolen or whatever. But there's a lot of bikes.
This is a textbook public photography audit, a straightforward test of whether officers understand fundamental rights. The core principle is simple. What is visible from a public place can generally be photographed. The area surrounding the station appears openly accessible, which makes the filming lawful on its face. Even the seized bikes in the yard are in plain view, visible to anyone passing by. The real variable now isn't legality, it's response. When the officers notice the camera, will they handle it professionally or allow misunderstanding to turn a routine situation into an unnecessary escalation? The first exchange was calm and professional, but this second approach carries a more assertive tone. It's important to remember that most police interactions in public begin as consensual encounters. Unless a specific legal power is invoked, a person is generally not required to answer questions or justify lawful activity. The auditor's polite refusal to provide extra details reflects a measured use of that right, not hostility. The key question now is whether the officers will recognize the voluntary nature of the contact and respect the boundary, or attempt to push beyond it without clear authority.
What on the building recording?
Just public photography, that's all.
Okay, making sure.
Yeah, it's just the way you walk towards me, that was all. You
Walking, mate?
No worries.
Who are you?
Will you not walk behind me, please? Just because I don't like it. Put in.
Who are you exactly? What's your name?
I'm not going to give me details, mate. I've not committed a crime, so unless you suspect I'm going to commit a crime, mate, then I'm not going to give you my details now.
I'll need you to leave the area because where you were recording around the side, you're recording into a private area, into a police station.
I can film anything but what the public can see from a public area.
This marks a noticeable escalation, and the officer's reasoning appears questionable. Filming something visible from a public path does not automatically become unlawful simply because the subject is on private property. The general principle is that there is no reasonable expectation of privacy for what is plainly visible from a lawful public vantage point. Compounding the issue, the officer's apparent misstatement about the national threat level undermines the credibility of the justification being offered. When heightened questioning is framed around security concerns, accuracy matters. Factual errors at that stage weaken the foundation for escalation and fall short of the professional precision expected when invoking public safety as a rationale.
But look, there's even more coming out. Yeah, I'm just going to keep my distance from you all. I don't want to be surrounded by you all, that's all. I've already explained it to the chap there, so I don't need to explain myself again. So I've told you I'm just doing a little documentary, that's all. So
You have permission to film a police station?
I don't need permission to film a police station, I'm afraid.
Everyone's on high alert at the moment. The threat level's severe, so we've been told to
I think you need to double
anybody.
check that. Everybody keeps saying that's not severe, it's substantial. So before you give me evidence,
Like that, sir. I'm just telling you the way it is.
I'm not. You're not telling me the way it is. You're telling me wrong information.
We're telling you.
That's just the way I talk, I'm afraid. You're telling me it's severe. It's not severe. It's substantial. It's been the lowest since
You
2012.
challenge anybody that's acting suspiciously around the police station,
Right,
and you're acting suspicious.
Acting suspicious, is that a crime?
The interaction now shifts towards suspicious activity, a term often used in policing to justify closer engagement. However, the legal threshold is higher than general concern or discomfort. In practice, reasonable suspicion requires specific, objective facts pointing to potential wrongdoing, not simply lawful behaviors like filming from a public place. Recording a police station on its own is generally not enough to compel identification or escalate powers without additional context. That's why this challenge appears questionable when measured against standard guidance on public photography and the requirement for articulable grounds before further action is taken.
But right, if we have to challenge your behaviour, so we're asking you, and that's why there's
Right.
three of us out
And I'm
here.
planning on refusing to give you any information. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm doing photography, and that's all you need to know. Yeah, still the same thing. So what's it called then? Videoing. Right. Okay. Does it not fall under the same bracket? I am. Yeah. Yeah. No. No. I'm not going to give my details now because I've not committed a crime.
Do you want anything to hide?
No. Can you identify yourselves, please?
Do you follow under that?
What's that? 17740. And yours, please? Is what? Sorry, can't see it. 15493.
Sorry.
And next time you approach a member of the public, I'd appreciate if you didn't come with all your hostility and your attitude. I'm afraid
What hostility?
you haven't come to be honest with you. She came out all guns blazing. So the way you was approaching me, the way you're speaking to me,
That's your opinion.
right? And I'm entitled to my opinion, just like you are. So.
Right, I wasn't approaching you hostily. Don't believe
My
I was.
colleague said.
You came out very aggressive, so
They come out anyway.
I don't want to speak to you anymore, I'm afraid. Sorry, go on,
My
sorry.
colleague said, obviously, because of the terrorist threat, it's quite.
So do you suspect me of being a terrorist? Do you suspect me of being a terrorist? So please don't bring that law into it, because I'm not a terrorist.
We have to tell him this all day. You don't.
Right, but I can act suspicious, it's not a crime.
If you can see it from our side, you can understand why we've got to tell him something.
Right, can you see it from my side?
Oh, you just said you're making a documentary.
Right, and public photography is not a crime.
You can see why it's suspicious. From our point of view.
Suspicious is not a crime.
Yeah, but you can understand that. It's being obstructive. You can understand
I'm not
why-
being obstructive, I don't want to talk to you. You don't talk to me with respect. I won't talk to you
got
with
no
respect.
choice.
I don't need to speak to you. Am I obliged to speak to you?
You don't have to.
Am I
You
being
don't have-
detained?
you don't have to speak to me.
Am I being detained? Am I being detained?
This is private property. Leave them.
It's not private property. It's all public property.
The officers claim that the area is private property is a significant point of confusion if it isn't supported by clear legal designation or signage. Police authority is strictly defined by law, not assumption. So accuracy in identifying the nature of the space is important. The auditor responds appropriately by asking, "Am I being detained?" A key clarifying question that helps establish whether the encounter is voluntary or whether a legal power is being exercised. This shifts the interaction from informal questioning to a requirement for clear justification, making the officer define the legal basis of their position in the moment.
I think you need to look it up properly, I'm afraid.
Right.
On the land registry, this is down as public. So,
That's terrible attitude you haven't you?
but I treat people the way I'd be treated.
Yeah, you've been
So, you know,
quite aggressive, pointing, and you've been trying.
you came out aggressive towards me. This chap here, to all due respect to him, 17740, has actually treated me with respect, unlike you. So I speak to people the way they speak to me. Okay, I just told you I don't want to speak to you, so
Really, your choice. If I want to speak to you, I'll speak at you.
if you want to, you have to speak to me.
You're on top of me again, just like you can speak to me. Or speak at me.
I don't need to speak to you. And it's 1799. And you know that little thin blue line you've got on your badge, you find that very disrespectful as well.
Again, that's your opinion.
Have a good day. Get back in your baking machines. That's it. Bye-bye. There you go, guys. Speak to me like that, I'll speak to her while she's speaking to me. So there you go. Longside police station, there you have it.
So what's the final verdict? This really becomes a contrast between two styles of policing. One officer remains calm, professional, and measured, while another escalates the interaction based on questionable assumptions. The key takeaway is that understanding your rights changes the entire dynamic. Several of the justifications offered, such as claims about private land, references to threat levels, and vague suspicion, don't appear to hold up when examined against basic legal principles that in the end, the auditor's calm and consistent approach, along with direct questions like, "Am I being detained?" helps bring clarity to the situation. It forces the interaction back onto legal ground and removes ambiguity, rather than escalating. The exchange settles once the lack of clear lawful basis becomes apparent.